What you see on the surface is only a fragment of the full story. Behind every action I take lies a deeper truth that I've yet to reveal. The reason behind my behavior is not as simple as it seems. There's a world of emotion and thought that you haven't yet discovered. You may believe you understand my actions, but there's an intricate web of reasons and emotions beneath them. My true intentions are shaped by a complex mix of past experiences and current struggles that you might not fully grasp. Before you judge my actions, consider that there is an underlying reason that goes beyond what appears on the surface. The truth behind why I act the way I do is a tapestry woven from threads of pain, hope, and personal battles. It's easy to assume you know why I do what I do, but the reality is much more nuanced. The true motives behind my actions are rooted in deeper emotions and experiences that aren't always visible to the naked eye. If you think you understand my actions based on what you see, think again. The real reasons behind my behavior are hidden beneath layers of emotion and circumstance that are not immediately apparent. You might have a perception of why I act the way I do, but the truth is that my actions are driven by feelings and experiences that go far beyond your current understanding. My behavior is a reflection of a much deeper emotional landscape. There's a reason behind every action, but often it's not the one that meets the eye. The real reason for what I do is intertwined with a complex array of personal feelings and past experiences that are not always easy to explain. The surface may give you a glimpse, but it's the depths of my emotions and experiences that truly define my actions. You might think you know why I do what I do, but there's a deeper truth you haven't yet uncovered. What you perceive as the truth about my actions is just the tip of the iceberg. The real reasons behind what I do are deeply rooted in a rich tapestry of my personal history and emotional state. Before you make assumptions about my actions, consider that there is a much deeper and more intricate reason behind them. My true intentions and feelings are hidden beneath layers of complexity that aren't always visible. You may think you understand the reasons behind my behavior, but the reality is far more complex. My actions are shaped by a myriad of factors that go beyond what's immediately obvious. The apparent reason behind my actions is only a small part of the truth. The full story involves a deeper emotional journey that influences why I behave the way I do. Your view of my actions might be based on incomplete information. The true reasons behind my behavior are wrapped in a mix of personal experiences and emotions that aren't immediately clear. It's easy to judge based on what you see, but the real reason behind my actions involves a deeper understanding of my personal struggles and emotional landscape that you might not yet be aware of. The surface explanation of my actions doesn't capture the whole truth. The real reason is deeply tied to a complex web of emotions and past experiences that are not always apparent. What you see might lead you to certain conclusions, but the truth about why I act the way I do is layered with deeper meanings and emotions that go beyond your current perspective. You might think you know the real reason behind my actions, but there's a whole world of feelings and experiences that shape my behavior. The true story is more intricate than it appears. The reasons behind my actions are not always clear-cut. What you think you understand is just a fraction of the truth, with deeper layers of emotion and past experiences influencing what you see. Before you decide you know why I do what I do, realize that the real reasons are embedded in a complex emotional narrative that might not be immediately visible to you. The explanation for my actions is not as straightforward as it seems. There's a deeper emotional journey and personal history that truly define why I behave the way I do. Your perception of my actions might be limited. The real reasons are entangled in a broader emotional context and past experiences that shape my behavior in ways you might not fully understand. There's a significant difference between what you perceive and the real reasons behind my actions. My behavior is a product of deeper emotional and personal factors that you might not see. You think you know the truth, but the reality is much more complex. The reasons behind my actions are layered with personal history and emotions that are not immediately apparent. The surface explanation for my actions might seem obvious, but the true reasons are rooted in a much more intricate, emotional, and personal background that you might not yet be aware of. The reasons behind my actions are often more intricate than they appear. My behavior is influenced by a nuanced blend of emotions and personal history that isn't always evident at first glance. You may think you've uncovered the truth behind my actions, but the reality is far richer and more complex. My behavior reflects a deeper emotional and personal journey. What seems like a straightforward reason for my actions is just a part of the larger picture. The real motivations are deeply rooted in personal experiences and feelings that are not always visible. The surface explanation might suggest you understand my actions, but the true reasons are woven into a more complex, emotional, and personal background that goes beyond initial perceptions. Before you judge my behavior, remember that the real reasons are embedded in a more intricate emotional narrative that you may not fully comprehend. You think you know why I act the way I do, but the deeper truth involves a more profound and complex blend of emotions and personal history that isn't immediately clear. The apparent reasons for my actions are only the beginning. The true motivations are shaped by a deeper emotional and personal context that is not easily discernible. The reality behind my actions is more layered than it seems. My behavior is a reflection of a complex emotional journey that you may not fully grasp at first. You might have your own theories about why I do what I do, but the real reasons are deeply rooted in a personal and emotional context that goes beyond surface impressions. The surface level reasons you see do not encompass the full story. The true motivations behind my actions are intertwined with a richer emotional and personal backdrop. What you perceive as the truth about my behavior is just a small part of a larger, more intricate reality. The deeper reasons involve complex emotions and experiences. The apparent reasons for my actions might seem clear, but there's a much deeper emotional and personal story that influences why I behave the way I do. You may believe you understand my actions, but the truth is more complex. The real reasons are wrapped in a deeper emotional and personal context that isn't always visible. The reasons behind my actions are not as simple as they might appear. My behavior is shaped by a more intricate, emotional, and personal landscape that goes beyond initial impressions. What you see is only a glimpse into the true motivations behind my actions. The full story involves a deeper emotional and personal context that isn't immediately apparent. You might think you know the reasons behind my behavior, but the real truth is embedded in a more complex emotional and personal history that isn't always visible. The surface explanation for my actions is just one aspect of a deeper reality. The true reasons are influenced by a rich tapestry of emotions and personal experiences. Before making assumptions, understand that the real reasons behind my behavior are intertwined with a more nuanced emotional and personal context that may not be immediately clear. What you perceive as the truth about my actions might be limited. The deeper reasons involve a complex emotional and personal narrative that isn't always evident. You might have a perception of why I act the way I do, but the deeper truth is shaped by a more intricate blend of personal experiences and emotions that aren't immediately visible. The reasons behind my actions are not as straightforward as they might seem. There's a richer emotional and personal backdrop that influences my behavior in ways that aren't obvious. What appears to be the reason for my actions is only a fragment of the true story. The deeper motivations are embedded in a more complex emotional and personal context. You may think you understand my behavior, but the real reasons are influenced by a deeper and more intricate blend of emotions and personal history. The apparent reasons for my actions do not capture the full picture. The true motivations are rooted in a more complex emotional and personal background. Before you conclude you know why I act the way I do, consider that the real reasons are shaped by a richer emotional and personal narrative that might not be immediately clear. What you perceive as the truth about my behavior is only part of the story. The full truth involves a more intricate, emotional, and personal journey. The reasons behind my actions are more complex than they appear. My behavior is shaped by a deeper emotional and personal context that you might not yet fully understand. You might think you've got the full picture, but the real reasons behind my actions are influenced by a more intricate mix of emotions and personal experiences.